Hello everyone, this is Bentley from Kent, Washington. Today, we're going to do a couple of short updates. So first, I got some cool shots of my angelfish. These are the Leopoldi Angels, and you can see those 3 SAEs just darting all over the place. This was like right after getting water changes done, and they were being kind of shy, but at the same time, it got to see kind of how things are growing out in this tank. You remember there's a lot of tissue cultures that had went into this tank. There's the Hygrophila pinnatophyta. We've got this like kind of section of stuff in here that's growing out. There's this really cool Rotala species pink, which is right toward the middle of the screen there. That's slowly growing out, slowly letting the pink come in. The pink is real faint until it gets very, very tall, and I had a very tiny stem of that. And then we've got the Bacopa caroliniana saffron red. There's the pinnatophyta right there, and then of course the angels hiding in back. But as you can see from that angle, that red color in their fins is coming so well, and they're kind of testy with each other here and there, playing typical angel territorial games. But overall, this group gets along very, very well. I haven't seen any obvious pairing behavior yet, but that's something I'm really looking forward to. Now, part of what I also shot during this is some slow-mo footage, and I think it's kind of interesting because you get to see, like here we can see just how fast these fish are, and you're not even seeing them at real full speed. These angels are incredibly quick, faster than I think any other angelfish I've ever personally seen. And you know, I'm used to the bigger ones like your Scalaris and your stuff like that when I was a kid. These guys, because they're a smaller kind of, I guess you say, dwarf angel, they are so fast. So here we have slow-mo, and you can tell just from the difference of how slow the Siamese algae eaters are moving here. This was shot at 120 frames a second. Consequently, when you dial it down to like the normal speed of the video, it's like 1/4 speed, because this is normally 30 frames. So you can see the angels moving, and it gives you a little more, I guess you'd say, ability to see precisely how they move through the water, and how they're using their fins, how just efficient and crazy they are. Because if you see it in slow-mo, you can watch and see like just the little shifts of their pectoral fins as they start darting all over the place, and how they use their rear fin for propulsion, how they tighten up a lot of their fins for their speed. It's kind of cool, and it was something like I got an opportunity to really see them. They weren't being too camera shy, usually they are, so I thought I'd shoot this and just show you guys something cool. Now, also as a part of this, I wanted to show you a new plant that came in. So first we're going to start, this is some Crypt nuri I've been growing out for a while. I've talked about it. It's a really awesome plant. It's a really great crypt if you want to grow some rare crypts. So this is some that's growing out real small in my grow out tank. And then here's some more Crypt nuri, that bigger piece that I got from some friends that's over in the guppies tank. And you can see this is about as tall as it gets. You'll notice it lays much more flat, and only when it gets very big do a few of them go directly upward, and even then they don't go as tall as like a Wendetii crypt. You'll notice they stay much more flat. They kind of spread themselves out, and they have that beautiful banding of color and all those little greens, dark green striations. Well, I got a super rare version of nuri. At my local club meeting, we had an auction, and somebody had brought in what is called Pahang mutated. So here you can see it was floating it for a little while just to let it to adjust to my water. And you can see how much it takes up of the grow out tank there at this like crazy angle. And then we'll zoom in so you can actually really look at it. Notice these big, strong yellow stripes in the leaves. And you can notice just how big they are. This gets much bigger than the other nuris. And then the back of the leaf is that beautiful kind of pinky red color. As I kind of run my finger over it here, this crypt is really, really cool. And more like your Wendetii, it grows a bit taller, so it'll take up more space, unlike the normal nuris. And you can even see in the small leaves it has that strong kind of trident-looking yellow stripe pattern. So I had all this sitting here, and this is in the grow out tank. It sat there for a little bit, just getting a little bit of CO2 to make sure that it didn't do any heavy melts, and that it was doing well after its trip sitting in a bag for a day and getting ripped out of its home environment. And there's a lot of this plant. I feel really, really blessed, because the last time I found this for sale or where anyone was talking about it was back in like 2012, 2013. So this is not, from what I can tell, not a very common crypt in the hobby. And as you can guess, with me being a giant plant nerd and loving crypts, I jumped on this thing immediately at my auction. I wasn't letting anybody take this home. And I feel for the amount of plants I got a screaming deal on this thing, because there were 2 different bags. I didn't pay too much for the 2 of them. I paid what I would expect to pay for like maybe 1.5 tissue cultures of crypts. Instead, I got these giant ones with these massive root systems that are beautiful. And then after I planted them, you'll see how many there really are. So you can see this big kind of ball of stuff, and it just looks like a lot of leaves, and it's hard to tell. But I moved them to the 90 gallon. And also, I want to say, check out the Madagascar lace. It is coming back with a vengeance. It took so long, it melted for quite a while, and now it's just growing and growing and growing. I swear it grows inches by the day. And it had 2 different flower spikes. Those are starting to go away now, but you can see just how much of that crypt is in there. And if you try and count, like, there are tons of little child plants that I have up front and some toward back, and then several, I think it's like 6 real big kind of mother plants, and another, I would say, 20 small plants in this. And I spread some to another tank, so there's some of this in the guppy tank too. I just wanted to show this one part, but you can see it's taken a good chunk of this 90-gallon tank up. You can compare it compared to that Madagascar lace or to these bigger swords that are here on the far right. It's a lot of crypts. And I'm kind of like I said, I feel blessed to get this really rare crypt. And this is just a short update. We're gonna have another video coming out. I'm gonna try to shoot it for Wednesday, but we'll have another video this week. I'm gonna try and do a Saturday and Wednesday schedule for the next few weeks. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay awesome.